Hello and welcome back to Disco Elysium. So, we are gonna go and talk to the scab leader about the tattoos. It's gonna be interesting because, well, we know that he is a secret agent. Well, some kind of mercenary type figure. So what kind of stuff are we thinking we might need here in terms of clothes? What we got on right now is fine, I think. I'm just seeing what's our shirt. Lowers our suggestion. Maybe we want a more neutral shirt. This one gives us drama, which is fairly neutral. Is there any better shirt? Physical instrument, maybe rhetoric. Lowers our empathy. I think we want to have some empathy. Our authority is already -2. -4 authority isn't actually that bad, given that we already had -2. So let's put on our t-shirt and give ourselves physical instrument and shivers. Sure. We'll try it. Our drama is -1 though. Oh, in which case we'll wear that. I want a drama to come up occasionally. The rest of this is fine, I think. Maybe the shoes? Nah, I'm okay. I think we're actually fine with where we're at. I think that works for me. Right. Let's go and speak to the scab leader. See what he has to say. Hello.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Are you a mercenary hired? Let's be tactful. I think you may be able to help me decipher some tattoos. Don't think so, he grunts, barely glancing at it. Suddenly this feels like a really, really bad idea. It was your colonel. Wordless, he takes the photo and looks at it. Grey eyes dart back and forth on the glossy surface. His face is unmoving. You see dead flesh in colourful rivers of polychrome melting skin and hair. After a while he cranes his head side to side and sighs. Fucking loincloths really did him in. Loincloths? Yeah. You tell me what the tattoo means? What it means? He points to one tiny star in the web of lines away from the man's heart, almost on the stomach. In what must have been the Semenine. What? I can tell you what this one means. Only one. He squints at it. It's so small. You want to hear what happened here? Yes. Our colonel is deep in the bush here. Deep in the fucking bush. In Banatial 41. Monsoon season. He's on a reconnaissance mission. Banatial is one of the inhabited islands of the Seminese archipelago near the Pale. Covered in jungle, it was an anchor point for the Seminese nationalists in the proxy war held on the islanders' territory. He spent a month behind enemy lines scouting Kip villages. Nothing but fucking bugs and snakes for fun. Men are getting restless. There's talk of switching employers. He licks his lips as if drunk suddenly. With some strange emotion, this is about to get really graphic. Last moment to back off. Don't interrupt him. Our boy, he's only a captain then, but he knows how these men think. If they don't see action soon, his voice gets strangely quiet. A long, long way from right to work, his gaze pierces the paper. At dawn, he comes upon 2 Kips breeding in the bushes by the river. Or maybe they weren't breeding. Maybe they were just making eyes at each other. I like to think they were breeding. We shot the boy. He was useless, but the girl, she was nice. A little fat, you know, but not too old. She was quite the entertainment. For the week she lasted, expired in the hands of the Sarge Mason. The kind of guy who'd make the chief there. He nods towards the man at the gates, shit his pants and cry like a bitch. God, he suddenly bursts out laughing. Ha 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 ha, Mason couldn't let go. Cut the tits off her cold body and fucking ate them. Said primitive spirits were watching over him now. Suddenly the laughter stops. Drowned in a creek a week later. Spirits my ass. Something stirs in your stomach. The story must have stirred up some conflicting emotions. The man looks tired for a second. There's a word on the tip of your tongue. Colourless, odorless, it's... You were there? No. I was in the domain. In Jamrock, being a bouncer. Evil. You bet it was. What is evil? It's just nature. This guy, he points to the picture, he used to say evil is when nature and spirit meet in the wrong place. You're not really a scab leader, are you? Fucking mask is getting sweaty. I want to take my mask off, but he shrugs. Can I have it back? Go ahead. He turns towards the gate slowly and yells, "Alright now. Free commerce! Keep the goods flowing!" On the photo in your hands, the dead man's skin is studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them littering his dead skin. Are you a mercenary hired by Wild Pines? Free flow of commerce, the man yells and wipes his face. Sweat is dripping down his brow. I'm going to say very quietly, is there a tribunal being convened by any chance? Fucking bug. He breathes out slowly, his giant chest deflating and his mouth slightly open. You hear a tiny rattle, a small radio cracking somewhere. An earpiece? I'm going to interpret that as a yes. There's a tribunal, and it won't be long until it's ready. How about you fuck off now, huh? Okay, of course, the lieutenant says, his voice a soothing calm. He looks at you. There could be weapons aiming at us right now, somewhere above in the buildings. The other merc. Don't push this, he's thinking. This is not the time. Okay. The man's breathing steadies, but his eyes still narrow. Slowly, he's getting back to his right to work. He's trying to get his right to work dance back on. I'm going to leave now. Okay, so what did we learn? Nothing, really. We know that there's somebody else watching from one of the buildings nearby. Okay. So it's overlooking the lorries. Where would they be looking from? Either up here, or... And the only other place they could be looking from is in here, right? I guess so, yeah. Let's have a look. Because we know it's a woman, from what I'm remembering. So... that would imply that it's one of very few people. Women who are standing in high places. I know, it's a very specific suspect pool I have. But, that means there are two. There's either Die Lady, who it seems very odd that she would have a business. Like, the business doesn't make sense if you think about it. And then you have Claché. Whatever her real name is. Hello. I'd like to order a die from you. Of course, she nods. This is what she's here for. Tell me what you have in mind. What sort of die do you think fits my personality? I think I have just the right one for you. She opens the top drawer of her work desk and takes something out. 2 polyhedrons, red and blue, are cradled in her palm. Police colours. Because I'm a police officer, right? Not the most original, I know. She smiles, almost apologising. But sometimes the obvious choice is obvious because it's best. Here, catch! She tosses you the dice. They're a gift from me. A beautiful woman tossing you a gift? Whatever you do, don't overthink it. Catch the dice. Go for it. You overthink it. Your hands can't agree on what to do, and the 2 dice drop to the floor and scatter in opposite directions, like pearls from a broken string. The blue one disappears down the pit in the centre of the room. Ah, down the drain, like your career, jokes the dice maker, her eyes tracking the remaining polyhedron, then catches your eye. I apologise, officer. That comment was unnecessary. I'll pick up the red die. That one is made out of bloodstone with a lapis lazuli inlay. The other one was the inverse. They were a set, you see, but now the set is broken. It's a shame. They might have brought you luck. You'll definitely lead luck in Martinez. She closes her desk drawer. Is she pitying you? Good God, she's pitying you. Now, was there anything else? No, I guess not. So what have we got? We got a red die. This 20-sided die is made of bloodstone inlaid with lapis lazuli. Its colours resembling police sirens. Its blue partner is missing. Kinda looks like the fire department arriving on the scene. Got fucked. Shit fingers. Note. Look at the map tab in the journal to see which white checks have opened. Okay. It's odd that any white checks would have opened off of that. bar door? Really? Okay. Well, I mean, sure. I'll go and have a look. That is very odd. Maybe because you dropped it down the pit, the other one is going to be in the bottom bit here? You can only hope, right? I just need to have a look. Cool. Nothing new there. Just wanted to check that there wasn't what we were looking for. Right. Out here. So the bar door, so that's the one at the bottom has opened. So I guess that means that Claché is probably the other person. Right? At least that's what I'm thinking in my head. Yeah, we'll bring that back out. Why not? So I think the bar door was in here. Or is it upstairs? I think it's in here. Maybe the red polyhedron just opens a random check for you. I don't know. Maybe it's unrelated. So is this the door? No. So the bar door must be the one upstairs? Maybe? See, I'm not very sure about this at all. Okay. Right. We can speak to Claché while we're here. I did look at the quest description, by the way, for speaking to Titus. Suggested we should fully explore the whirling to get the best odds. Just thought that was interesting. So that, right, it said fully, like, you know, it had asterisks around the fully. So it's heavily hinting, like, if you can get into the back passage, you're going to get a bonus here. Oh, she's not here. Interesting. Oh, wait, no, we... What do I mean interesting? I arrested her. Oh, no. Interesting. Why is she not here? Could it be XYZ? No, how about the fact that I imprisoned her? That would explain why she is no longer in the vicinity. Yes, that would do it. That would definitely explain it. That would explain entirely why she is not here, because she is in jail. Yes, that makes more sense. Yeah, there we go. We'll wear that shirt. That way I don't even need to take it off. Right, so it's a 3% check. Is this the heroic check? Yeah, it's going to fail. But there's no reason not to do it. Well. Ow. I mean, it lowers our health, probably. You kick it gung-ho style, entering the premises style, but the door fails to respect the force. All you hear is the bar rattling inside, laughing at you. The door has withstood your demolishing attempts. He measures the door stoically. There must be another way in. Below, in the union box, was there something behind the window, in the hawthorn branches, brushing against the glass? What? No one knows. It's a fleeting feeling. Below, in the union box, was there something behind the window, in the hawthorn branches, brushing against the glass? Oh. It has led to good things. Let's put that back on. So that's a definite clue. Okay. Yeah. I should definitely do more of these like checks I'm guaranteed to fail if it gives me a clue. Yeah, that seems good. I wonder if there's a way to speak to Claché some more. Like whether I can call up for her. I should try that, shouldn't I? Yes. Let's try that. Right. I really also need to remember her actual name. I could call her the Orange's Dancer, but she also wasn't that either. So, is there something back here? Yeah, okay. Interesting. Behind the dock workers, a ceiling-high window, the hawthorn branches scrape against the glass like bony fingers. You see 2, maybe 3 bushes grown into a single thicket over the period of circa 50 years. It takes some time for a hedge like that to form. Okay, squint. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring, it's too cold outside. One can't see into the union box from the yard outside. That hawthorn is too thick. Inland said to go downstairs. Mysterious door seen. You've been here for a long time. Okay, do it. There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches. Light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of colour in the blackness of the thicket. Hanging from it, a bronze key. Someone hid the key in the bush and attached a yellow ribbon to make it easier to find. It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it. Surely not a coincidence. Someone hid a key in the bush. Huh? The big guy looks behind him. I need your guys to hand the key to me. You know what? Can you let me slide by so I can grab the thing? I don't know about that. The tattooed man yawns and settles more comfortably on the bench. I'm comfortable here. I don't think any sliding would really help right now. Sorry, fucko. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. Good fucking luck with that. Hawthorne's got a bitch of a bite. I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there. With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch and slides it across the table to you. The key is brass. Workshop, spare is etched into its bow. Bow? Anyway. Oh, bow. No, yes, there's a bow on it. Anyway. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence. Come on, man. We're just having some fun. Where's the harm in? I'm tired of listening to your shit. Thank you. Don't thank me. The old man takes out his pack of chewing tobacco. I don't give two shits about your key. Does anyone know why this key was hanging right outside the union box window? I didn't even know it was there. The man looks at the key in your hand, then around the room. Boys? No idea. Never even seen it. Someone must have hidden it there before this room became our place. Wonder what doors does it open? It could open the door in the kitchen, the blue door. He looks at the key in your hand. It says a workshop spare. Maybe there's a workshop here. It's worth a try. Cool. Also, money. I love that. Right. Quick save. And blue door. I guess we'll just do it. Well, try the workshop spare key on the door. The key fits the dimple lock. It takes a bit of effort to turn it after all these years, but then the lock clicks. Dust rises before you like mist. A tomb haunted by regal spirits from distant ages? No, smells like engine grease and cut wood. A workshop. Oh ho ho ho. We're right in. There's more to the whirling. I love it. This pinball says Franconigerian? Franconigerian? Something like that? Okay, that's a long word. This pinball is white Diora. The black glass shows a female figure in mourning. All these mesmerizing machines just waiting to be plugged back in and played. I'm going to run my finger over the dust of the white Diora machine. Feels like it might jump back to life at any moment, the lights illuminating the white-robed woman. What's white Diora? Some kind of. He looks around thinking. Inane pinball theme probably related to the Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst. Diora was one of the 3 crown cities of the DeLorean era on the Mundi Isola, the other being Resilvia and Advesperacit. This theme is all about early airships and beautiful, sad, pearl-laden woman. It's quite nice, actually. Lieutenant grimaces, looking at the machines. How about we fire one of these bad boys up and play some ball? You can't fire them up, they're broken. Only that one machine in the main hull works, the Royalist Pinball. He looks away. What a dumb name, Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now. Sounds like you don't enjoy pinball, Kim. No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? Let's move on. He doesn't. Hey, what about that other one? The Franco-Nigerian ball? Want to play that? No. Okay. Alright. 83, it's encyclopedia, it's our specialist subject. Think, Kim Kitsuragi. Kim Kitsuragi. Kim Pinball Kitsuragi. Kim Pinball Kitsuragi, aka Kimball? Exactly, that's what he's known as. His reputation precedes him. You're Kim Pinball Kitsuragi. So now he remembers. He looks at you in the silence of the workshop, then takes his glasses off and cleans them. Fine, I'm Kim Pinball Kitsuragi. He puts them back on, aka the Kimball. You remembered. Congratulations. Well, wait, I still can't remember anything else. Wonderful. He only remembers hearing about the pinball policeman. You don't really seem to like pinball. No human being should. It is a game that requires no skill and a childlike affinity to flashing lights and to fantastic science fiction and historic romance franchises. It is lame. Then why are you called Pinball? I am not called Pinball. It was used to daunt me a long time ago before I became a homicide detective and got my lieutenancy. How did you... He puts his glasses back on. Fine, I was a juvenile police officer for over 15 years. It's how I started out in the RCM. Once I had to infiltrate a pinball ring, as you do when you're a juvie cop. Lame. Unbelievably, he nods. To do that, I needed to become a pinball champion. I trained for 9 months. The job was successful and I was moved out of the juvenile wing to homicide. End of story. You were a juvie cop for 15 years? That time is over now. He looks at the pinball machine and breathes in. I was already a 38-year-old man. It was unbecoming, as was playing pinball. So that's why he doesn't want to talk to Kuno. Trauma and stressor disorder from being a juvie cop. Wait, so that's why you didn't talk to Kuno? It's best if you handle the juvenile delinquents, he nods. Well, you're Lieutenant Kitsur... Actually, you know what? Don't worry. I'll keep calling you Kim. Lieutenant Kitsuragi is good too, he nods. Now, we really need to continue our sweep of what appears to be a secret path through the whirling. Good point. Note, MB, the spare key is tied to the bush outside the corner room window. Hey, that's a lot of money. That's a really large amount of money. What's through here? This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The latticed cage is open, inviting you to step inside. Look in. Smell of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right, and just enough room for 2 people to fit in. Well, that's convenient. The maintenance card under the control panel reads, Last maintenance, 10th of July, 88. Let's look at the elevator controls. There are large rectangular buttons, Monter and Descendre, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken. Well, I assume that Descendre is descend, so Monter must be ascend. A small steel plaque reads Halter 800. Halter is a Konigsteiner lift company that went out of business a long time ago. Looks like last maintenance was in 88. That does it. Lieutenant peeks in. I say let's brave it. Wait. This elevator was last maintained in the future? No, it was maintained in 88 of the previous century. So it's not a message from the future. No, I think the bureaucrats just forgot about this backroom elevator after the revolution. Wonder what its elevator was used for. Seems like a small freight elevator for transporting machinery. For that, it's pretty quaint. He taps the on the guttering. It doesn't make sense. He taps on... I think those are the other way around. He taps on the guttering light bulb. It's golden in the dark. Let's close the doors and go up. Well, we're succeeding so far. So this is somewhere we've already been. And that explains why it's its own room, because we can see it from here. Aha. Small windows taped shut with black plastic. You can't see outside. Is this where the other person was staying? Schematics for a pinball machine. Futurism themed. Boxes of tools and replacement parts line the shelves. Pinball maker's coat. Gives you empathy and hand-eye coordination. Gives you empathy. Another chance at Kuno. Love it. Right. What have we got here? The pinball machine has been taken apart and gutted. So this is where they brought faulty pinball machines to fix them up a long time ago. Everything is covered with dust now. Lieutenant looks around in the dusty, crowded room, inspecting the tools on the shelf. Looks like they were fixing the pinball machines at some point. He agrees. At some point 20 years ago, 15 maybe, before pinball went out of vogue. This used to be a pinball workshop. Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel. There are machines left over. He taps his foot. A creak. Some dust falls off a shelf. Downstairs in the hall next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the Hardys bang away at it. But then it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection. Could this mean the Whirling in Rags really is part of the doomed commercial area? If that's true, then our cafeteria manager is not going to like it. He looks around. We should tell him what we found up here, emitting that suspicion. He does not appear to be the kind of man who likes his establishment to be part of a neighborhood ghost story about bankruptcy. Stupid superstition, but still, it would be interesting to see what this cafeteria manager thinks of this. It's not a ghost story, it's a curse, and Garty ought to be made knowledgeable so he can perform counter spells. Fair enough. What have we got here? There's a tiny hole in the wall. You see a bedroom on the other side. Oh, so they were keeping a watch on people in here? You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere. I think I can see into Cliché's bedroom from here. He leans closer to inspect the peephole. You can barely see through. Better not jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however. He points to the marks nearby on the floor. Definitely suspicious. What were those people doing in there? You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural there. Sensationally unnatural. Okay. The footprints? They're gonna match the 8th Hardy, right? You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of the dust covering the workshop floor. A jackpot. Lieutenant takes out his notebook. These, unlike everything else here, are new. Someone's been here within the last week or two? 3 weeks maximum from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too, you know, officer. He looks to you. This is so good. Makes him forget the whole Kimball memory. It was a stereo investigation after all. It has now converged with our main investigation, adding a new fact to consider. Okay, what does this mean? It means someone snuck through what seems to be a secret route leading to the roof. The roof from where you can shoot our victim. This is significant. These prints, officer, could be the prints of our killer. And if not, they're a good argument. And if not, at least they're a good argument for this Ruby doing it to present to Titus. Let's have a closer look then. Large prints, most likely made by Boots. The size is hard to determine, so could be bigger than Vamp. The soles have left a pattern, uniform horizontal lines. Not the same as the footprints from the 8th Hardy. One person has been here, they've gone back and forth, the tips point both ways. Shoe size is 41, 42, maybe 43. It could have been a large-footed woman or a small to average-footed man. This is, unfortunately, the worst, most vague shoe size there is. This print doesn't look like the odd-soled print we found at the hanging, Kim. He inspects the tracks closer. The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person. I wouldn't rule out Ruby coming here yet. This isn't an argument against her. People change shoes, you know. It's an argument, but it's not an argument for her either. That doesn't look like the workers' boots from the hanging, does it? No, these horizontal lines are different. They look custom made to me, or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though. The prints look like one person went back and forth. Between that, he points to the elevator door in the corner. And that, he points to the bar door. Let's get up. Right. Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor. Let's move on. Okay. So we definitely found out something there. And that's the info we needed for Titus, I think. Oh yes, and we got the doomed hostile bit. And our new shirt. This dusty old coat used to belong to an M. Kniflocks. The name is stitched into the silk lining. It smells of moths and ancient engine grease, but it fits you perfectly. A strange lone emotion fills you when you tighten the belt around your waist. Can I go out here? This is the bar door you tried to kick in before. I'm going to lightly punch the door once more, just in case. The door shudders a bit, as though it were laughing at you. So what's on the other side? Unless we veered off into the folded M dimension, I'm expecting to step out onto the roof. Folded M Dimension, a reference to the popular science fiction series In System. Luke, who's in a good mood suddenly, and reads science fiction. Yes, it is quite likely we will re-emerge on the M plane. Brace for psychokinetic impact, or the roof. I'm going to unbar the door and leave. But actually, I'm just going to unbar the door. And then head back this way, because this is quicker. Because this way, we get directly... We have one loading screen, basically. The other way we have... at least two. Right. Head out here. Let's speak to the chef for a second. He might have something to say. I mean, he is next to the door. Never mind. Right. Hey, Garty. I have something to say to you.
Hey, was there something you needed?
Garty, I saw another thing at the whirling. Another thing. Great, I love those. At Claché, in room 3, she nicked the phone line. Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it, it's just a door. Wait. Did I not? I must click the wrong one. She nicked the phone line. Why? He stops himself. No, fuck it, I don't want to know. I don't want to know why these degenerates do what they do. I thought we had one good guest in the building. He really doesn't like it being Claché. Yeah, I bet he didn't want it to be her. Actually, you know what? You have Lena. Lena's a good customer. Yeah, well, she's not a guest, is she? Anyway, I'll forward that woman her bill and be done with it. Now, is there anything else? There's a peephole in the wall. He startles. What wall? Upstairs in the secret back room, right next to Cliché's bedroom. I think it's used for looking in on guests. I'll have it fixed at once. Thank you for letting me know. I assure you the whirling does not abide spying on its guests. Alright, you've been notified. Thank you, I'll patch it up personally. Was there something else about the establishment? I hope not. What have I told you that the reason I know this is because I got into the back room behind the blue steel door? Oh, okay, well. He controls his excitement well. I did hear you make noise back there, so good for you. It takes a lot of willpower not to ask. Obviously he's been wanting to know what's behind the door. Are you going to ask me what's back there? Okay, what is back there? Well, pinball machines. A pinball workshop. Ah, I knew it. I've always wondered if those machines by the where those machines by the door came from, and they told me there was some kind of pinball thing here too. I knew it, he repeats. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean. Why? Do you want to play? Because I might be up for a game. No, I was just wondering. He appears to be making a calculation in his head. If you found pinball machines there. He was wondering about something business related, about how much money you could make off one. Well, think you've turned this place back into a pinball arcade? He scowls and No, but we could diversify the entertainment options. Seeing as you've opened the door back there, the machine we have in the corner is now broken. It wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here. Other than the hellish karaoke machine, that one's always causing trouble. Yeah, those numbers he's adding up must be making good sense to him right now. Sounds like he cares about the place. He's not going to be overjoyed to hear it's part of the doomed commercial area. He should still know. You have to be forewarned about these things. I have to warn you, I may have discovered that whirling is part of the doomed commercial area. What? He looks mildly startled. Why would you say that? We're at a completely different address from that whole thing. So he knows of the doomed commercial area and its address. He's thought about this. The whirling is listed on the intercom outside as one of the businesses in building B of the doomed commercial area. I've been working here for a long time and that intercom has never been used by the whirling. Well, the whirling was once part of the East Delta Pinball Arcade, which failed. Though perhaps the whirling will escape the curse. Does this look like part of the doomed commercial area? He makes a sweeping gesture. This pre-revolutionary tile work, these high ceilings, the nice rooms, well, most of the rooms. For 14 years, man, that's how long I've worked here. I've kept the place up through hail and through sleet. Fuck me if some doomed ghost. He steadies his voice. He's done a fine job too. Though he's spoken of the place dismissively before, the hostel is actually very important to him. Who owns this place? Some real estate management company. They never come around, just collect money from afar. Honestly, I think some money laundering might be involved. And who named it Whirling in Rags? Well, it sure as hell wasn't the real estate company. It was you? You look surprised? What? It's a great name, I know. Cafeteria managers come up with great names too. It's from a song. A song? Hail Holy Queen by the Inteniers. Hail Holy Queen of the Sea, he quotes. You're whirling in rags, you're vast and you're sad. Good, the Pick Lieutenant nods. What about those other cafeterias you manage? What about them? He shrugs. One is a basement dive frequented by chain-smoking communists. I can't tell you how sick I am of Krasmazov and Ignas Nielsen and all those old ghosts. He's hesitating, not sure if he should share this information with you. Encourage him. And the others? The other is a kebab cart. It's very successful in its way, but it's nothing like the whirling. You really care about the whirling, huh? Yeah, he sighs. It's slowly growing on me again. It's beautiful in its own way, especially for this neighborhood. I've been trying to keep it that way. Even if it is part of the doomed commercial area. Ah, so you finally admit it. Yes, I'm sure your police skills have delivered. I'm sure you'll get a commendation. Maybe even a promotion. Well, good luck with this place then. Luck has nothing to do with it. He looks to where the hidden room is. I think I need to think about where I'm going to place these pinballs. I have a feeling they're going to help. Against the doom, it's implied. So, if you didn't have anything else to tell me about my establishment... if you didn't have anything else to tell me about my establishment, or can we, wrap this up? Right. See ya. Cool, so we learned a little bit more there. So now we should, in theory, be able to speak to Titus, right? Let's have a look. So Titus, let me check. So, have you fully explored the whirling? Yes. Analyzed the site of the murder? Yes. Truly and thoroughly interrogated Cliché? I hope so. Let's try it. What do I need for the check?
Just dragged her away, huh? Stone cold. Didn't think you had it in you.
Didn't think I had what in me? To arrest her? Yeah, you ruthless son of a bitch. He nods approvingly. I certainly didn't have it in me. I always let the pretty ones go. I'm soft like that. Yeah, like when we let old Clancy's widow walk. Or Denise, the dinner girl. The milk rack on that one, he says, almost elegaciously. So it's probably elegant, something like that. Iglaciously? Something like that. Can't say I wasn't sad to see her go, our Clagé there. Her face when your friend walked her out. God damn. He shakes his head. Hold up, her face, what did it look like? like she was walking to the gallows. He avoided looking straight in her eye. You would have too. Well, that was a normal thing to do. She was a flight risk. I'm a cop. Yeah, normal. He seems to be thinking. Nothing to do about it now, I guess. I just hope she can game her way through the system and come out the other way. Don't think I forgot how I specifically let you know how I felt about her arrest either. He says, shaking his head. Now what do you want? His tone is friendly now. The last words are actually accompanied with a little smile. Well, I talked to Joyce. The merc you hanged, his friends are coming for you. Yeah, he doesn't seem worried. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Krennel? Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma. They're snickering in the room. Some of the men put their beers down. Yeah, they're forming some kind of tribunal and they're coming for you. This is what happens when you take the law into your own hands. Other people start doing it too. Let them come. Blondie yells across the cafeteria. The Hardy Boys are right fucking here. You heard the man. Right here. He points to the ground. We're armed. We got the whole district behind us, and Glenn is fucking crazy. Yeah, a well-oiled murder machine. He punches the Blondie on the shoulder. Did you know that a single Cerise giant hornet can kill 40 bees a minute? The fuck is that supposed to mean? You're the bees, they're the hornet. We're not the bees, we're men. We're socialists. Easy E, he's trying to phase you. He turns to you. What you trying to do? Scare my man? This Krennel is bad news, you know that, right? Puh, it's a spray of beer. So we're the local gangs, the fucking Balmy Army, and the Madre scum. You been out there? Seen any around? Yeah, where are they now, huh? He points south. Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate. These people are trained military professionals with decades of combat experience. They're not a gang or a Balmy Army. No, they're not. They're uncoordinated and drunk. Don't forget, we're listening in on their communications. Their shit is way apart. The mercenaries are armed with automatic weapons. We got weapons of our own. He cracks open his vest to give you a glimpse of his holster. We got Ister's 50. Zagler's. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home. Will they pierce ceramic armor? I guess we're gonna see, aren't we? That was an unsure phrasing. See what? That they don't? Yeah, like you've been up against ceramic armor. He gives a sip of beer to bide his time, then tries to get the last word in. You haven't even seen the whole suit, right? I've seen the whole fucking thing. It didn't make him immortal. Joyce said they've gone rogue. Nobody is controlling them. Big fucking surprise, he mutters. They hire psycho scum, arm them to the teeth, and let them loose in the city. What do you think was gonna happen? Okay. What do you mean, okay? He jerks forward a bit. Well. I mean, okay, they're gonna wipe you the fuck out, Titus. No, they won't. He shakes his beer at you. Get out of here with your negative energy. All he means is that the situation is serious. No wonder you cops get shot to shit every day. Can't go to war with an attitude like that. Okay, I talked to Cliché. Now I need to talk to Ruby. Wow. He leans back and regards you with curiosity. Ooh, okay. So, because she's your real leader, she's the next link in the chain that leads me to Lely's killer. I have seen her in a laudanum-induced delirium. The paranormal instinct whispers her name into my ear. Ooh, not really where I think I need to go. I need to pin this on someone. I've decided to pin it on her. I suspect she killed the victim. A civil war is brewing, and the only way to prevent it is to solve the murder. Or the drug smuggling. Well, I'm going to level with you. She's the next link in the chain that leads me to Lely's killer. Sounds like you're making her a suspect in this. Not on my watch, you're not. Ruby's one of us. You're not gonna throw her under your moral turn steamroller. Fuck that shit. And fuck you too, moral He throws a glance at Titus as the last syllable leaves his lips. The big guy sighs. Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys. That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. He crosses his arms. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to have some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now? I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'd be surprised how quickly a theory presents itself if you're looking. Present a solid theory. We have the key in the union box. We have the winch outside. We have an antique rifle. Cliché gave us motive. Secret route found. And Ruby is a drug trader established. So the rifle we found is the murder weapon? What the... This rifle is the murder weapon? Oh. And we found it in that building. I'm thinking the die maker is either Ruby or she's the other merc. It has to be, right? At this point. It's the only connection she has. I'm just replacing our glasses with more logic glasses, but I think that's the only logic we're missing.
It's you again. What is it?
Present a solid theory about why Ruby could have done it. Go. A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostile cafeteria is lit by its eerie blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion all channeled into a single thought. Why are you so sure that Ruby didn't off him? Because she was here all night with us. He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101. She was here all night. Lieutenant ignores the tattooed man. 11:30 to 12:25. She was here during all of that time? Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there. He points to the karaoke stage. She didn't go out for fresh air for one smoke. No. That's a lie. You know that's not the case. Alright, she took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment, maybe went out too. She has an operation to run from her lorry. He points to the intersection. We're not getting into what that operation is again, cop. That's probably for the best. Don't break your stride now. And just cause she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot him. He taps on his temple. I've been through this. It's not plausible. He's been through it. That means he suspected her too. Alright, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on the roof. Have you noticed that winch out back on the outer wall of the whirling? I've seen the winch. I'm not blind. He nods. You saying she reeled herself up there by her collar, like some kinda... You can't come up with an analogy. Kitten? Let's go with that. Point is, it's just a rusty winch. It doesn't put her on the roof. Well, there is a secret route in the kitchen that leads straight to the roof. How? He looks sincerely curious. Through what looks like an abandoned pinball workshop. People say there was a pinball arcade here sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo? East Delta Pinball Arcade. The old man coughs. Weird place. Went bankrupt. Okay, but... He looks around. How'd she get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator, for that matter. The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop. Good one, Kim. Thank you. The lieutenant is glad he got the floor plan right there. From there, a door leads straight to the roof. You can just step outside. Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down all under 7 minutes. That's quite a theory. He turns to Eugene. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys. I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there. It's a dumb waiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead? Shush now. He turns to you. You got something else to back this route up, or is that it? Well, I also found footprints upstairs in the old workshop. Footprints. Takes a sip of his beer. Recent? The tracks were recent, but not worn down in the right foot like Ruby's. Best to omit this pesky little polemic for now. Too confusing. There were prints there with horizontal lines. Horizontal. I see they taught you well in your RCM school. My old man, a hunter, half blind one at that, could say that. Horizontal lines. Thinks for a moment and nods. Good news is, I'm still listening. He knows they had to be recent for those lines to still read. This wasn't a failure. Okay. Well, there were pinball machines in the workshop, still operational. Right, what the fuck's that got to do with Ruby? What if they're somehow connected to the murder? A pinball murderer? God damn it, cop. You kidding me? You know it's no goddamn pinball murderer. Don't say funny things. He looks calm, but there are serious accusations against one of their own. Just a thought experiment. Let's go on. He nods for you to continue. You know what? Let's do the top one. You do agree the shot came from the roof, right? Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clash's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez. Maybe from the coast, but like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots, so no. He shakes his head. I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up. Guess what? Remember that key I found here? I don't like guessing, cop. No one does. It opens the steel door in the kitchen, the one that leads upstairs to the roof. This key. He looks at the hawthorn bush outside the window. Was right here with you all the time. You didn't find it, but Ruby did. That's how she got up there. Quit jumping to conclusions, Theo. He turns to the old man. You took the key. You took that key. Did it look like it was recently put there? The ribbon was old, faded. It had been there for 20 years at least. She could have put it back there once she was done. Wow. Shakes his head. This doesn't make sense. It's damn interesting, but it doesn't fit well and you know it. Doesn't fit well, but it fits, and he knows it. Have we firmly established that Ruby could have had access to the roof where the man was shot? Firmly? He shakes his head. Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to that roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we've established. But a route, he forms a gun with his hand, does not put that bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one. Phase 2, murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt in the shape of a gun. There are weapons like this lying around Martinez. I'm going to show the antique rifle. That looks antique. A Belmar grave. He takes the gun, inspects it, and hands it back to you. It's inoperable. Where'd you get that? There's a cellar under the bookshop. It was hidden there. Just with others just like it. 20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. Also broken, but still, there were many. There must have been other caches too. God damn it, we need to close that dump down for good. Alright, okay, I see your point. There are guns lying around. He shakes his head. Damn it, I thought we found all the old spots. Why is it still there? We just missed one. Ruby doesn't know this place, boss. Ruby doesn't know this place, boss. Just these cops digging up shit. The pawn shop sold my gun to a woman. Maybe it was her. Wait. That would have been after the murder? Wait, we would have arrived after the murder. How was it my gun? That seems very unlikely, but okay. I'm gonna say it. You lost your gun? The blonde man is taken aback, not even laughing. What an idiot! The big man leans in closer. Tell me, did you lose it before the murder? No. Of course not. He scoffs. And Ruby didn't use your lost gun to kill him. Stop thinking about your lost gun, damn it. You'll get a heart attack. This was merely a thought exercise. He did not lose his gun. Let's move on. I've already established Ruby's running drugs. She could have smuggled guns, too. God damn it. That's just about your favorite topic, isn't it? Titus slaps his thigh. For every fucking 5 seconds. You were warned not to bring it up. Your best shot here is to just back out of it. All I'm saying is, from what I saw in her cabin, she'd have no trouble getting a gun. Trouble? This is Revachol. Even the roid heads in the gym had a carbine. No one has trouble getting a gun, but still never saw her carry one. He must be referencing some past case of theirs. He's angry because he knows you're right. What he's saying only confirms your theory. I didn't say it proves she had the murder weapon, just that we need to find her. I don't know, cop. Why don't you find your lost gun first? The tattooed man burst out of laughing at his own joke. Easy now, Al. This isn't comedy hour. Titus, we're not seriously considering it, are we? He almost gets up from his seat. Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this? Phase 3, motive, the last component. The big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works. Well. Let's see. Don't mention that arresting Clashay. Just say the fourth one. When Clashay came downstairs, Ruby appeared to know that something was wrong. Nah, man, that's just Ruby. She's got shit under control. The man explains. That's her whole thing. That's why she's so good. Plus, man, it's like female intuition, you know? Woman talk to woman. He peeks at Titus, which is sort of why we need someone on the team who they talk to. Well. Or she knew what happened because she killed him. Not so useful. Titus looks to Alan, then Eugene. It's not why did she kill him, it's why did she organize the cover-up? I suppose you have a theory on that. She could have just been covering up for herself, Titus. Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging? You went along, but she suggested it. Little man squints, eyes beady. She had like a fully formed plan and shit, right when she came back downstairs. Really, Shank? Clashay wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan, if I'd been first. Time for a logics demonstration. Let's see. Titus, let's assume you killed him. Your own thing in ass here, asshole. He points at you. It's a thought exercise, Titus, he explains. Think, you kill him, you get up there, shoot him, get down. Would you prefer to go on trial with your men as part of a lynch mob, or alone, for cold-blooded murder? Alone. I don't drag my men into shit with me. If she used us, then that's serious violation of the Hardy Code, boss. But she didn't. She would never do that. The blonde man looks around. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus. Lan. Titus looks grim. I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit. Ooh, so you didn't rule her out completely and she skipped town. This is good. Well, let's see. I think that's all we need to say. Titus, you have to see it. Things don't add up. We need to talk to her. Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods. A very small nod and a trickle of Tabasco spit on his lip. Yeah, I see it. He puts his beer down. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is, add it to your list of suspicions if you want. I don't know. He smiles a peculiar smile. I don't know where she went. She just up and left. Got real scared too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Want to know why? Why? She was afraid I would tell you. He looks you straight in the eye. Maybe she was right. By now I probably would. She knew there was evidence on her and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior. Why fleeing is always incriminatory. Perhaps. He looks out of the window again. Ask her if you found her. It won't be easy though. She made sure of that. When did she leave? Friday afternoon. when you first arrived. I got word that RCM was in town, and then she came to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had a little conversation. What was she scared of? I told you. You. Me, personally? Yes, you. The cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes. Well. Interesting. Why specifically us? I have no idea why she'd be scared. I'm just a normal cop with regular thoughts in his head. Sure, normal, he says without smiling. You know, when I first saw you limp in here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply, but he messes you up. Now, I'm not so sure. What else did Ruby tell you about me? She says you have a funny taste in cloves, he scoffs, and that you won't stop. Won't stop? Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up like cans. And then when they're all empty, just move on to the next can. Don't look back unless there was something you missed. Fucking hell. The tattooed man shakes his head. Titus, did he just... Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. He nods. Now can we... What? Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or even go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you? Silence. He nods. Is that true, Kim? Am I a can opener? You are insistent. He nods. Anything else? Anything? Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This cop, Titus, this cop, but she was too scared. What if Ruby is the person that we're not allowed to think about? That would be crazy. That's why she knows so much about us. That's why she's worried that we're going to find her. Do you have any clues on where she went? She's not far, we know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot. I think that she's in that place that we can't open on the beach, by the way. Just thought I'd throw that one in there. Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her. Yeah, Al. He gives it a sharp look. And we won't either. She's not really a... The man stares into his beer. Hardy candidate anymore, is she? She is not, Glenn. Have you looked for her? Wait, did I click the wrong one? I think I did. Yeah. Oops. Sorry. That one. A little on the coast. Where have you looked for her, more precisely? More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlock. You know, it's southwest. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there. Who's doing this looking? They're all here. You're all here. Who's out looking? He shrugs. Lizzie needs some air. The gardener? But she went to tell Everard. You're a smart cop, but you're a stupid person. No one goes to tell Everard anything. If he has to know, he has to know fast. It's called a radio, you believe. The gardener may have played you again when she stormed out. She has her own plan. Can you tell me where on the coast I should start looking? Sure, there are some shit houses there, a cinder block town. The fisher folk there refuse to unionize, so that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up. We will start there. Lieutenant takes a quick note. One more question. What does Ruby look like? Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a lorry man. You know what she's doing with the Ulan frequencies? The what now? I have no ideas. He looks around. Boys? She said she's building a... His voice is very quiet. A pale emitter. A pale emitter? Wait a second. The silence in the church. We couldn't figure out what it was because we didn't know what the pale was. It's all connected. What? We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Ulan frequencies in a pale something. I don't know more. This guy barely understands what he's talking about. There you have it. Pale something. Titus puts an end to it. That's not much, but it'll do. You'll have to do. He puts his hand out. I'm going to shake it. His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. Not just granite, tightly packed RCM Sergeant material. You should be a cop, Titus. When are you gonna get it through your dumb head? He scoffs. I already am. I just wasn't sure you were too. He still isn't. People aren't afraid of good cops in the way Ruby was afraid of you, he thinks. Then turns back to his men. Alright. Alright. So we got 3 skill points saved up. And we can ask about Ruby in the village. We're coming to a close. And I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm going to end the episode here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.